My first memory is of the brightness of light, light all around. That's a quote from the iconic artist Georgia O'Keeffe that I found. You're not used to thinking of O'Keeffe speaking or writing, but it became the impetus for this piece I wrote for Renée Fleming and Rod Gilfry called The Brightness of Light, which will be performed by the New York Philharmonic. After I discovered that quote, I found that she had written an enormous body of letters to Alfred Stieglitz, the photographer and art curator who became her husband eventually. What I discovered immediately on opening this trove of letters between the two of them was how poetic each of them was, and actually how their very distinct personalities came through in these letters. The piece imagines the relationship between these two artists from the beginning, when Stieglitz really introduced O'Keeffe's art to the world, until his death. And actually thereafter, the piece actually goes beyond his death into decades after, when I imagine O'Keeffe reflecting on her affection for him and their relationship together. We're in front of what used to be the Shelton Hotel, where Stieglitz and O'Keeffe lived from 1925 to 1929. They had a big apartment with a studio on the 30th floor where O'Keeffe painted cityscapes and Stieglitz took photos. During that time, O'Keeffe found the city to be grand and complex and vital to the work of an artist. In fact, she said, they couldn't get me to leave here if they tried, which was ironic because a year later, she started spending more and more time in the Southwest. Due to a variety of reasons, Stieglitz was overbearing and unfaithful. You can really sense the gulf emerging between the two artists as O'Keeffe began to be more and more invested in her life in the Southwest. And of course you see it in their art too, which was vastly different and so dependent on place and environment. O'Keeffe's was vibrant and colorful, and Stieglitz's was of this area of the city in black and white and what he called the land of ghosts. How does that visual art become music? As I wrote these songs, even though they're based on words, intuitively, their art sort of filters in to the way I think about harmony and texture and orchestration. Really, the orchestra is such a powerful tool in describing art and transforming visual art into sound. The last thing that the audience hears is a depiction of the vast spaces of the Southwest as O'Keeffe reflects on the nature of friendship itself and remembers Alfred, who remained close to her even after his death. What I want to leave the audience with is, in spite of the complexities and the turbulent nature of their relationship, the profound impact that they had on each other as people and as artists, and the impact that they had on the world.